First thing that we're going to do is draw, to the best of our ability, a nice symmetrical bell curve. Okay. From there, we want to go ahead and start using the information we know. We know that the mean goes right in the middle. So 108 minutes. So the question says the testing times for a group of college students was normally distributed with a mean of 108 minutes and a standard deviation of 7.5 minutes. So yes, the mean goes right in the middle. Okay, and remember this is a symmetric curve, so that means 50% is to the left and 50% of our data is to the right. And so I'm actually looking at one of these questions ahead of time, and I see that one of the questions says 50% of testing times were below how many minutes? Oh, okay, well, I already know 50% of the data is below the mean, so that's going to be my first answer, actually, 108. Okay. Then the next thing that I would do is I would actually make sure I fill in my standard deviation tick marks first. So we know that there's 3 standard deviations above and below. So this first set is 1 standard deviation, and we know that's 68%. Okay, between 2 standard deviations, we know it's 95% of our data, and approximately 99.7% of our data is within 3 standard deviations. So let's talk about a quick math that we can do on a calculator real quick to get these numbers here on the axis, okay? So remember, this notation means that I'm going to take my mean, the value of my mean, and I add 1 times the standard deviation. I add 2 times the standard deviation. I add 3 times the standard deviation. So our mean is 108 plus a standard deviation, plus a standard deviation, plus a standard deviation, okay? That's it. And my calculator is doing this. So then 108 minus the standard deviation, minus the standard deviation, minus the standard deviation. So my calculator is my friend in this class, and it's very quick for us to do that. And that's what that notation is telling you. Plus 1 standard deviation. Notice how there was 2 standard deviations here. That's why it's 2 times the standard deviation. So yes, you could have used multiplication to figure this out, but often I just do plus, 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 minus, minus, minus when I need to make it on my own. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the hardest part of the problem, is setting this up. Because once it's set up, then you can easily answer these questions, at least the way that this question is worded. So this is just asking us to state the bounds of the empirical rule. 68% of testing times were between what minutes? Well, I know the empirical rule. I know 68% of my data is within 1 standard deviation of the mean. So that's going to be between 100.5 minutes and 115.5 minutes. 95% of the data is between 2 standard deviations of the mean, so that's between 93 minutes and 123 minutes. And last but not least is 99.7% of our data is between 3 standard deviations of the mean, so 85.5 and 130.5. So again, this was a level easy problem because it was just simply asking us to use the empirical rule of numbers. It wasn't giving us like, where's 34% of the data, or where's the top 2.5% of our data? So notice we didn't have to write all of those percents out because for these questions here, I didn't need it.